So hi, welcome to the weird science of qCraft. How many? Can I see some hands? How many people have been to the qCraft booth so far and got a chance to play it? Nice, nice. So it sounds like you know a little bit about what we're trying to do here, and we're going to let you know a lot more about it. So let me do some introductions. Directly to my left is Spiridon Mikalakis, who's a postdoctoral scholar at the Institute for Quantum Information and Matter at Caltech. And not only he's here, but he actually brought a whole team from Caltech, physicists, students studying physics here. So they're the people running the booth. So I think that's pretty awesome too. Next to Spiros is Daniel Ratcliffe, who's better known as Dan200, who you may know from such awesome mods as qCraft. And Dan's magical coding fingers are what made qCraft possible. And to Dan's left is Lorraine Ushansky, who's an executive producer at the Google Creative Lab in New York City. And in a moment, she'll talk about how this all got started. To my right is Brian from Eline Media. He's driving the screens. Another one of our partners. And my name's Joel Levin, and you may have heard of me as the Minecraft teacher. I am a teacher, but I'm also the creator of Minecraft EDU, and we're trying to get Minecraft into lots and lots of schools to do crazy things like this, to teach crazy things like quantum physics. So yeah, I mean, I think we all decided that I should just talk for a few minutes before we actually dive into this, maybe because I'm the teacher and I'm the one who's used to, talking to lots of people and explaining things. So, I mean, this was a really unique project, a unique partnership with lots of people. Bringing in teachers, bringing in people from the games industry, bringing in scientists, bringing in people from the Minecraft community, and then other partners like Google. I'm pretty certain that this was unique in the world of Minecraft and possibly in all of gaming, to do something really forward-thinking like educate about quantum physics. And not just education, sure. Part of this is we're going to package curriculum to teach quantum physics in schools for teachers. But we wanted to do a lot more than that. We really wanted to put this into the hands of people already playing Minecraft, so that they could start to experience some of the concepts that underlie the science behind quantum physics. So what is qCraft? I bet even a lot of you that have been to the booth are still possibly not quite sure what it is. So we're gonna try to explain. So I mean, it's a mod. It's a Minecraft mod, and there is a lot of science there, but it's kind of hidden underneath those Minecraft blocks. We've tried to take the world of quantum physics, the science of quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum computing, and look at it through the lens of Minecraft. So we put new behaviors in the game that are analogies to the way things work in the subatomic world. So we have a little video to kind of walk you through some of that.
qCraft is a mod that brings principles from quantum physics into the world of Minecraft. So I'm starting up here, and I'm standing inside a teleporter. It has a quantum computer in the middle, and then there's these 4 special pillars around the outside. So I'm going to energize this quantum computer. And now you'll see I'm standing inside this big stone chamber. And over here we have some steps that I'm going to go down to show you some of the quantum properties that qCraft uses. The first property is observational dependency. In quantum physics, when you observe a system, you actually change the internal state of that system. So this observationally dependent block changes its composition depending on which face you observe. And this effect can also work on a larger scale. For example, this house appears to be made of brick and wood. But when you head over here and observe it from this side, the house becomes all wood. And then we can come over and change our angle of observation again, and now the house appears to be all diamond. And then finally, if we come over here and observe it, the house seems to disappear entirely. Now, this kind of behavior isn't truly quantum because you always know which way the blocks are going to resolve. For a more truly quantum behavior, qCraft uses superposition. With superposition, you don't know exactly which way a block will resolve when you observe it. So for example, when I look at this block, I don't know when it's going to resolve to gold and when it's going to resolve to diamond. It might stay diamond, it might convert to gold, it might stay gold. And this property of superposition introduces an interesting random element into Minecraft. For example, this appears to be a wall, and if I change my angle of observation, it stays a wall. But I look again, and one block opens up. I look again, nothing. And one more time, and now a doorway is opened up. And this brings us to the third quantum principle of entanglement. This principle states that two particles created together can have correlated behavior even when they're separated by a distance. So for example, when this block changes its state, so does its companion above it. So when I look at it, it turns to gold, and then that one's turned to gold too. And if I look at this one, it turns to diamond, and its companion has also turned to diamond. Of course, quantum physics states that entanglement can work over vast distances. So to show you this, I'm going to go down into this dark cave. And out here in the middle, there's a lamp, but it's just connected to a block of stone, so it's not lit up. But if I change my angle of observation, that block changes and lights up that lamp, and that block is entangled to all these other blocks throughout the cave, so that when I just observe that one block, it changes all these other blocks too. And then when I move down here to this side of the cave, I'll turn back and observe it, and it changes to stone, and so do all the other entangled blocks throughout the cave. Now, qCraft isn't meant to be a perfect simulation of quantum physics. It's just a fun experiment with quantum properties in Minecraft. It lets you do cool things like build disappearing buildings, make mind-bending traps, and even teleport things across an entire world. The fact is, we don't even know everything qCraft can do, but we're excited to see what Minecraft's quantum physicists figure out.
Cool. So, is this an accurate simulation of quantum physics? No, but it's not supposed to be. It's many things, but how I personally like to think of it is it's a launching point for discussion. What does it look like when you try to explore these things in a game like Minecraft? What does it mean to take a game that people love to play? People are used to trying out crazy mods and figuring out how they work. And experimenting and seeing what they can build. What does it mean when underlying all of that are these real scientific principles? You saw it up there: superposition, observational dependency, and entanglement. And our hope is that people who are using this mod start to develop an intuitive understanding of these concepts, so that if they come across them later in life in a science class, it's a little easier to understand, or even better, that it spurs their own curiosity, that maybe they go to a wiki page and type in entanglement, and what does this really mean outside of the Minecraft world? So this might be a good time to talk about how all of this started. So I'm going to turn it over to Lorraine. Do you want to, can we pass the mic down? So can you talk about the genesis of all this? How and why did you and the rest of the folks at Google get the ball rolling with this?
So as Joel said, I work in a group called the Creative Lab at Google, and we get to come up with some pretty awesome, crazy ideas, one of which is qCraft. And something really cool happened at Google earlier this year. A group was created called the Quantum AI Lab, the Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab. And all of us heard about this and we're like, what does that mean? And Google and NASA went into a partnership and together purchased a quantum computer. And this is very much the early stages of even the idea behind quantum computing. So there's a lot of research to be done and a lot of things to be explored, but it's pretty cool to be doing something like that. So, we got to spend all this time with these amazing people at NASA and these amazing engineers and scientists at Google, and we were just like, how do you explain this to everybody else? Which is very hard. But it was just really exciting. Like, you say quantum physics and you say quantum computing, and you're just like, I want that to be something I understand. So after spending all this time with them, we were like, well, how can we try to explain some of these concepts in a way that's educational, but is sort of like the tip of the iceberg? And how do you do it in a way that's really exciting? And at Google, we're really big supporters of science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's also because we are a company filled with engineers and scientists. And a lot of us, started out playing with Legos when we were kids. And today, that's kind of what Minecraft is. Like, this is basically the training ground for every future engineer. So as we were starting to kind of think of, like, how can we translate this into education and make it something people could understand, we are big fans of Minecraft. And we're like, well, there's Minecraft, and people are kind of already doing this in Minecraft. And so as that was all happening, I reached out to Spiros and was very lucky to have this connection to Caltech, and obviously they're doing amazing things there. And so, Spiros is the director of outreach at the IQIM department, and the sort of like, you know how to do this. You are trying to explain these concepts all the time, and we have this awesome, love for Minecraft. Like, how can we kind of make all of this happen together? And so we had, lots of amazing conversations with Spiros where, like, all of our minds were like totally blown. And then we got in touch with Eline and Joel with Minecraft EDU, and we said, okay, we want to make this. We have no idea how, and you guys do. And we want it to be useful, and we want it to be able to, just be fun for everyone who's playing it, but also get it into classrooms. So then Joel and Brian and Eline were like, well, we know this guy Dan 200. And so then Dan came on board, and then it was like, oh, wait, like, this is real? Like, you can actually do this? And we really went from kind of like an idea that we were throwing around to something that was real. And I think seeing what people do with qCraft is kind of what's the most amazing part of this. And and this is really to make the argument to a lot of parents that, like, your kids love Minecraft, but, like, they're also doing amazing things in Minecraft, and they really are teaching themselves, like, pretty awesome things that are going to get them to be engineers and quantum physicists and all this exciting stuff. So that's why we kind of just had this amazing happening of meeting great people along the way, and then we're at Minecon, and it's totally crazy. So yeah, that's how it happened from the beginning.
Thank you. Awesome. So I got a couple more questions for the folks here, but then I just want to let you know we want to hear your questions. And then not only yourself, but we'll have somebody take a mic around. But then also, if you want to tweet us some questions right now, use the hashtag qCraft, and Brian will be watching that. So I want to talk to Daniel. So you created qCraft, among other awesome mods, which was, I think, really a labor of love for you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I made it in my free time over the course of, well, from like about 2 years ago up until the present day.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's how many people have tried qCraft? Nice.
Oh,
Don't be
wow.
shy. Yeah. Right. Well, if you've played, with FTB or Tekkit or some of these other mod packs, you have it on there. So go digging in your creative inventory and find it. But working with this was not, this kind of Minecraft mod was a little different. I mean, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit what it was like to work with a group of people rather than just yourself. And can I start by asking, is the mod we see today, does it look anything like the mod we started coding at the beginning?
So yeah, so this mod was definitely a collaboration, and it was a collaboration between like kind of the 4 different groups that we have. You got me, who I know Minecraft, I know like game programming. You got Spiros, who's a brilliant scientific mind and knows all about actual quantum physics, and we got you guys who know all about education. So we kind of had to balance these sometimes conflicting goals and come up with something in the middle that kind of hit everything. So one of the big conflicts we had was, should we do a really accurate simulation, or should we do something that provides a lot of good gameplay? And originally we went down the wrong road on that. The first version we built was as close of a, maybe I'm overselling it a bit, but as close of a simulation of quantum physics as you can get, of quantum computing as you can get without actually having a quantum computer, which it turns out is not very accurate at all. So it turned out it wasn't that accurate, and also there were almost no gameplay potentials for it. It was interesting in how it was coded, but you basically got, you had a way, you could build very complicated systems to do very little that actually applied to the world of Minecraft. You were just like generating random numbers by strange arcane means. So after that we went, not arcane, scientific means, but
it's a fine line.
It just occurred to me that like talking about arcane and magic is probably not very accurate. But anyway, not very scientific. But anyway, so after that, I think the two of us, we exchanged some emails and we went back to the drawing board, and we took this idea that the fundamental thing in Minecraft is the block, and the fundamental thing in quantum physics is like the particle. So let's try and take the quantum properties of particles and apply them to blocks with these essences. And that was a good balance, and that worked out really well for us.
Cool. You know, it's funny. There's the famous quote: "Any technology significantly advanced is indistinguishable from magic." And I think we bordered on that realm. I mean, now might actually be a good. There's a segue here that I will inelegantly get to in a moment. I mean, now might be a good time to actually thank. There were other partners who aren't here on stage, but I think some of them are in this room. There are the folks from the Technic platform. Hey, there they are. So those guys, if you played Tekkit or Hexit, you've played on their mod pack among several others, and so it's interesting. So Tekkit is a mod pack all about technology, and Hexit is a mod pack all about magic. And believe it or not, like we talked back and forth a lot about this, and we actually found that our mod fits in both. So it's really fascinating. And then our mod pack, you know, one of the most successful ways we got this into just you know, hundreds of thousands of Minecraft players' hands is through FTB Unleashed. Any FTBers here? Yeah. Excellent. So, you know, we really appreciate the help from you guys in the Minecraft community to get this mod into people's hands. So, Spiros, we veered to talking about magic, but I mean, is this science? I mean, what does a project like this mean to you as somebody who professionally tries to explain science to people? What does this mean to you?
So this is pretty interesting for me because I am actually a researcher in quantum computation at Caltech, and I don't usually get to meet people outside of you know, the academic institutions where we're like Big Bang Theory but times 10. So it's really cool to be here. Thank you guys. This is fantastic. You get to show some of the magic that you've been training all your lifetime, right? To become a quantum physicist, to work on quantum information, this is very interdisciplinary. You have to have a PhD pretty much in computer science, in theoretical physics, and in mathematics to be able to really understand what's under the hood, right? So it was an amazing opportunity when, you know, Lorraine called me and said, we know these people at Minecraft EDU, and we know this guy here who can like make this happen. Can you help us to make this realistic as much as possible? I said, I don't know what Minecraft is. I'm sorry. I asked her if it was Minesweeper, StarCraft, Warcraft. She's like, no.
As long as you don't call it Minecraft.
Yeah. And I was embarrassed. Then I looked and I said to myself, how old am I? You know, how did I miss this? I mean, this is everywhere. But then quickly I was on board. I think it was fantastic. And as Dan said, we had to go back and forth a few times because it was impossible. Actually, there's a theorem you can prove that it is impossible to actually create a computer simulation that is a quantum simulation within a classical computer. The ones that you have on your laptops, servers running Minecraft and all this stuff. So we decided we didn't even have a chance. We had to actually focus on 3 different principles, like observational dependency is very important in quantum physics, that the way you observe something and the very fact that you actually observe the universe changes it, right? So it's not like as it is outside of you, the moment you observe it, it actually becomes a new universe. And this is something we don't even understand yet, right? We have multiverses and parallel universes, and now we have connections of this concept of entanglement with wormholes and time travel. And this stuff is supposed to be science fiction, but it's not. I mean, at Caltech, we're taking these things very seriously, and we hope with something like this that the next generation, most of you guys, will be able to figure out what this all means, right? How do you connect entanglement with the structure of space-time and the vacuum and the Big Bang and what happened before the Big Bang? And were we really a wormhole from a previous universe and all these things? So hopefully within the game, you know, it's first version right now, but in a few versions from now, you'll be able to teleport. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So that sort of brings you up to date with right now. And the one question that I've gotten most often since I've been here to Minecon, and all of a few hours, but is what's next for qCraft? And to be perfectly honest, this all happened at a very fast breakneck speed. This all happened over a few months. We were so focused on getting a polished version out there, getting something that's fun, that's playable, having some demos ready to show at Minecon that we haven't thought too much about what's coming next. We do have a couple other tricks up our sleeves you'll see in a sec. But the most important thing with us now was to share it with you guys and to start getting your reactions and to hear where you want this mod to go, and perhaps even more importantly, seeing what you make with it. It wasn't really illustrated in that video, but when these Minecraft blocks change, they take on the property of their new block. So for example, if you have a stone block that then turns into wood, that wood can burn. If you put a block up in the air and then it changes into sand or gravel, as you know, in Minecraft, sand and gravel falls. If a block turns into a block of redstone, it will send a redstone signal. So these are gameplay mechanics that it's just too open-ended. We don't know what you can make with this. So we really want to see what you guys build and show us. And I don't think this is a secret. Hopefully I'm not spilling a secret. I mean, eventually we want this to be open sourced and we want people contributing to this. And one guy really liked that idea, so okay. So what happens next? I'll tell you the 2 things that we definitely know are happening next. In the month of December, we will be releasing a full set of curriculum and lesson guides so that teachers who want to use this in their classrooms, they have all the tools that they need to get started to do that. But we have one other feature that we are adding to the mod. That, again, it's just a cool Minecraft thing, but it fits thematically with quantum physics. And Brian's going to show us. So hopefully he's showing us the right thing. Brian's showing us nothing. Come on, the pressure's on. You got it? Or should I stall for time? The video is in a superpositional state. It's both here and not here. So, well, all right, here we go. Okay. So here we are in a Minecraft world where qCraft is installed. This is not the video we were planning to show, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. So another feature of this mod, we have the ability to use quantum computers in the mod to enable quantum teleportation. Now, it's old news to be able to teleport yourself, your player, from one place to another in Minecraft. But what you can do with qCraft is you can actually teleport your blocks. You can build your house in one area of a server, set up this very complicated quantum gate, and teleport your house to another location on your server. That's working right now in the mod that you can go and play over in the booth. But what we're also working on is the ability to create a quantum computer that not only lets you teleport yourself and your house and your blocks from one server, from inside one server, but you can actually teleport to another server. So we've had some successful prototypes, some successful experiments in this. It works. There's still some iteration and polishing to do, but this is something that, you know, and again, it fits thematically with quantum physics. There's the notion, there's one theory in quantum physics of the many worlds theory. Spirit should probably explain it, not me, but I'm going to try. You know, that anything that can happen in the universe does happen somewhere in another universe. And we kind of think that fits. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of Minecraft worlds out there, and if there's a way that we can put them all in the same universe, we think that's really cool. So I think we'd like to open up for questions. I believe a volunteer was going to help us run the mic around. And I saw a hand go up right here in front. Maybe we can, yeah.
Where?
Oh, you were just raising your hand, a volunteer. So, okay.
Coming back to me, I'm too nervous.
Okay, well, this one's mostly directed at Dan. With the whole observational thing, you know how the block changes? Would it be possible to make that instantaneous? Would it be like feasible to do that? And also, are there any T-shirts left?
I don't know about the T-shirts, hopefully, but yeah, we originally had them happening instantaneously, which is actually more accurate, but less educational because it was hard to actually see what was going on. So that was a deliberate, one of the compromises we made was a deliberate choice to let you see what's happening.
I was wondering if you could like teleport like an entire like plot of like land world to like another server.
I think that's what we're planning on doing, isn't it?
I think that's pretty accurate. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly how we do it may change a little bit. You know, that's you know, so that's a question. That's an perfect. Should I? So you know, that's a perfect example of the type of question that we want to throw out to you guys. Like, if you were given a device in your Minecraft server that would let you teleport to another world, how should that work? What should it look like? We've gone through like 8 different versions, and we'll keep trying. I think there was a good Twitter question that came in. Do you want to hear? Oh.
Sure. So this is another one for Daniel. The question was, as a programmer, how did you get your head around the quantum physics and the quantum science behind it?
I read a book on it, but then after that I relied on this guy.
How would you recommend somebody who has curiosity get started?
Minecraft. qCraft really, I mean, we were trying to figure out, and part of my job, I'm a research staff at Caltech, but part of my job is to do outreach, and there aren't many resources out there right now to teach quantum physics to a 12-year-old or even a 35-year-old, really, that hasn't seen this before. So yeah, this is probably the best way to do it, but I would definitely recommend that you go to the website at qcraft.org, and on the news section and the wiki, we will keep updating and give you the connection between real quantum mechanics and the game and how they're related, so you'll be quantum physicist in no time. Yeah.
Okay, I have two questions. First question is, along with the line of transportating your world, I'm a very OCD person, so my house is like real structured and my land is all flat. So can I like take my world and my house to their server, including the land?
The way it works right now is you put these pillars in the world. They can go up very high, they can go down into the ground, and anything that's contained in the space of that pillar will be transported from one place to the other. So, there's
So
all
the
there's like
mod
a
introduces
million
lot
different
of
ways.
pretty fun thing.
That was weird. Oh, that was you, Brian. There's a million questions this opens up. What if you have a chest? Does the stuff inside the chest go? What about text on a sign? What if I have stuff in my chest in my house that's legal on my server but illegal on the other server? There's a million questions this raises. But just being able to tackle those questions and solve them is fascinating.
Okay, now, Joel, the second question is for more of the mom in me. What kind of documentation or paperwork can you present to the school district to get this to the school?
So here's where it sort of borders on what we're doing with qCraft and what we're doing with Minecraft EDU as a whole. But we're really trying to make it easy on both the qcraft.org website and the minecraftedu.com website to illustrate the links between what people are doing in Minecraft and solid educational goals, and being able to show that, especially here in the US, there are a lot of really tight controls on what is allowed and what's not allowed in the curriculum. But the beauty of it is most of these standards, the Common Core standards, don't say you must teach with this book or you must teach with this tool. And everyone in this room knows how open-ended and flexible Minecraft is. Minecraft is just such a powerful teaching tool that you can reshape the game, as we've done, to teach different concepts. So start with those websites and stop by the booth. I'd love to keep talking about it.
This question is for any of you guys over here in the back corner. When you use the teleport feature, going from a qCraft server to another server, do you keep the inventory that you currently have? Like, say if you have 20 diamonds on the qCraft and you go to, say, the Hat Ventures, will you keep your 20 diamonds?
That's an open-ended question. I think right now we are leaning towards no, because it opens up a whole lot of exploits. But it's the kind of thing, if I had my preference, it would be configurable, right? The server owner would be able to determine whether people are allowed to bring items in, things like that.
I have two questions. Firstly, okay, with the server teleport, can you go from single player to multiplayer and vice versa?
That's a good question. Does that work in the prototype? Probably.
I think it's just from multiplayer to multiplayer.
Yeah, I think currently it's just multiplayer to multiplayer. I'm going to think about that one.
And second, when you go to a server, can you choose the location where the teleport?
So how it works, I was saying you build these pillars around your house or whatever you've created, that at the origin, and then you actually have to build an exact matching copy of those pillars with an entangled quantum computer at the other location. So you get to choose where it comes out. And again, this all might change before it gets out into your hands, but we'd love to hear how you think it should work. I've talked too much. Any other questions for these guys?
Can you teleport things from one server that has the mod to another server that doesn't have it installed?
No, they will both need to have the mod installed.
How can you can you teleport the computer blocks to another location?
In the same server or on a different server?
Yeah, on a different server.
You can. So you'll have some control of how and where you teleport things. So I think the answer is yes.
Do you support superposition across servers?
What now? Okay, but no. Does that what does that mean to you? What would that look like? So.
Yeah, so we're still trying to do this like in the real world across servers. You know, you may end up like in no server at all. So yeah, we could do that. You know.
Are you guys planning on implementing any other kind of quantum mechanics other than those that we saw?
That's a good question. So superposition is so fundamental that everything else comes out of it. One of the things I've been thinking, at least, is maybe blocks that can have more states per phase, right? So instead of qubits, as we call them, where you can only have 1 or 2 states, you can have 3 or 4 or more states. That could complicate things, which is cool. Entanglement is already there. Beyond that, I would love to see you guys create actual circuits that allow you to do more complicated things, right? You know, so, and maybe more complicated structures of entangled objects, that not all of them change to the same thing, but maybe half of them change to one thing and the other half like change to the opposite. So that could be interesting.
We teach Minecraft classes, and we use the Minecraft EDU tutorial. We work through there and love it. It's been hugely successful. Is there going to be a similar tutorial that we can start teaching quantum physics to our kids this winter?
Yes, the short answer is yes. So if you've been over to the qCraft booth, we actually created a world that we thought a lot about the Minecraft EDU tutorial and about how to use that for this mod. And so if you go play the booth, you'll see that mod. We will be making that mod available in the not too distant future and available to schools as part of the teacher package. Well, since I'm in charge, yes. All right. Okay.
Huh? We're good.
Okay, so this is, we're gonna, the last, I think we're at it, so they're gonna kick us out of here. So this will be the last question, and then we are not gonna hang out around here and talk, but we will be walking directly back to the qCraft booth where we will be hanging out and talking and answering as many questions as we can. So, last question.
Do you plan on being able to add quantum properties to things other than blocks, like items or my poor ocelot?
Ooh, that's interesting. We have not planned it, but you know, it's the kind of thing like, you know, type it up, or better yet, record a short YouTube video explaining to us how you think that would work and how you think that looks, and we absolutely want to hear that kind of information. So, thank you all so much for coming. This was really great.